today, and in more levels than one. We have a lot of things going on in our world, and personally, and out in the world as well. And so I have been practicing going inward, just allowing myself to feel what I'm feeling and to hold the midline. This is part of the yogic practice. We are learning on the mat how to calm our mind, body, and spirit together and take that out into the world. And I have to say, more than any time, this is the time to actually allow your practice to move out into the world. I feel that if you're alive at this point in time, in this poignant opportunity for transition, that we're part of the transition, and begin to visualize what it is that we really want to see out into the world. And this is the time to do it. So let's close our eyes for a moment, and I want you to visualize one thing that you would like to see out into the world right now. Just let's ground the energy of whatever is important to you at this moment in time. And just letting your sits bones move into the earth, feeling the earth through your legs and your hips and lifting up through the spine. Just breathing in. So allow yourself to feel your energy, whatever your intention is, to move that right into the earth, into the ground. Let's be a change agent for peace and true justice. Allowing our heart and our voice to be one. And then letting your breath move down into the belly, keeping your breath deep, allowing the mind to settle into that deeper breath. And increase the time of the inhale. 4 long counts of an inhale in, 4 long counts of the exhale out. And take the breath into the belly, then let it rise all the way up to the lungs, and from there, all the way up to the base of the neck. You want to hold at the very top of the inhale. Create a pause, an interruption in the breath, so that there is just this open space. We all need an open space. And then exhale out from the throat, down into the lungs, and then again into the belly. Then with your next exhale, allow the chin to come down to the chest as you breathe into the opening of the neck and the upper part of the back. And just hold for a moment and Do a little scan to see where you might be holding some tension in your body today. Let your breath move to that spot. Connect in. Our body will hold our emotions, so just notice where you're holding your tensions, your emotions. And then release your hands and bring your hands on either side of your hips. And then on the inhale, lift the arms and lift the gaze in the seated sun breath as we greet this day. Turn the palms and exhale, fingertips down and chin to the chest. And then the palms roll upward again, arms and gaze all the way up. We're going to turn the palms and exhale, fingertips down and chin to the chest. 2 more times, palms roll all the way up. Turn the palms and exhale. And last time, palms roll all the way up. Hands go to prayer over your head, then down to the heart as you close your eyes for a moment and breathe into your own inner landscape. And just recognize your empowerment right now. Don't let anything diminish that. Feel your energy in the earth, and you're part of this transformational energy. So be strong, be connected. Allow yourself to be your own leader in this transformation. To that leadership, let's open up our eyes, release our hands. Let's come into a standing pose. I want to actually start with just downward dog. And if your wrist is bothering you, go to dolphin, but we're going to start with downward dog. Come back down a bit into the table pose. Fingerprints down, back of the palm, knuckles down. Curl the toes under, press your hips to your heels, and allow your back to feel your breath. So you're going to breathe into your back body. Let the hips begin to settle towards your heels. Press into the toes, press into your hands or your forearms. If you're in dolphin, lift your knees up and hover your knees over the floor for a moment, almost ripping your mat apart and then lifting your hips up towards the ceiling. So it's a slow move. And then one heel up, one heel down, just finding your dog. Good. And then release and come back into the table pose. Going to do that one more time. Curl the toes under. Press hips to heels. Hands onto the floor. Rip the mat and lift all the way back up into downward dog. Breathing in. Nice deep breath. Then bend the knees and let the hips go way up towards the ceiling. Sits bones towards the ceiling. Keeping your knees bent. And allow the heart to settle towards your thighs, but the upper part of your arms reach up for the blue sky. And breathe. A nice deep breath. Then if you feel a little spunky, you can press into your toes and hop forward into Uttanasana, or walk your feet in, walk your hands in, head down towards the floor. And here I want you to bend your knees again. Take the top of the thighs back, open the lower back, breathe in. Arms swing out to the side as we inhale all the way back up. Exhale and fold, shins forward, thighs back, head down towards the floor. Arms swing out to the side as we inhale all the way back up to a standing Tadasana. Exhale and fold. Shins forward, thighs back, head down. Breathing in. And then let the right leg go back into the runner stretch. Take the left hip back behind you. Lift the top of the right thigh up. Press your heel, your right heel to the wall behind you. So you feel that opening through your hips and your legs, and switch. Bring your right leg up to meet the left, and let your left leg go back into the runner stretch. Right hip goes back to the wall behind you. Toes onto the floor, heel up, press your heel back, taking a nice deep breath. Breathing in, stay in your breath. And then press your left up to meet the right, head down towards the floor. Arms swing out to the side as we inhale all the way back up to a standing Tadasana. Clasp your hands, palms up towards the ceiling. Now let there be a softness in your knees. Don't let your knees go back like this. I can hyperextend, great, but you want to soften the knees. Let the energy from your knees go down towards your feet so you feel the four corners of the feet onto the floor. Exhale over to the right. And inhale all the way up. And exhale left. Just breathe in. And inhale up. Exhale right. Now just allow for your foot to be a little more grounded into the earth. Feel the grounding as we explore stretching. Exhale over to the left. One more time. Inhale up. Feel both feet onto the floor, four corners of the feet. Exhale right. Breathing in. Inhale all the way up and exhale left. And release. Arms come down. Let them come all the way down, taking the head of the arm bone up toward the ear and back. Just rotate. You can feel a little heat in the head of the arm bone. Just move that around from the back to the front. Good. It's all about feeling. It's all about opening. Then clasp your hands behind you. You're going to notice the head of the arm bone comes forward. So manually move the head of the arm bone up toward the ear and back. From here, instead of the rib cage coming out, bring the rib cage in. Let your hands go down towards the floor. Move the head of the arm bone up and back. It's always a little bit of a dance. Hands go down, head of the arm bone up and back. You're going to bend at the knees. Take the top of the thighs back. Now here you want to watch that the head of the arm bone stays steady, stays back, does not come forward. Keep it up towards your ear and back, then add your head down towards the floor. Arms may lift off of your back. Breathing in. You want to keep your front body open with a nice deep breath. Pressing into your feet and then allowing your hands to lift you all the way back up into a standing pose and breathe. Just let your arms shake out the nice deep breath. All right. Right leg forward, left leg back. Here I go. I'm not mirroring. Right leg forward, left leg back. You have a little bit of a visual that you can follow. See if you can get the top of the right side to be a little more parallel to the floor. And you do that by taking your hip back, lifting up through the spine, then settling back in again. You want your knee always over your ankle. You don't want this. Too much pressure on your knee, and you're not really stretching the top of the thigh, the inner groins. Track your knee over the ankle, and I'm feeling that nice stretch in through here. Arms are going to reach out into a T position. Look over your right hand as you come to Virabhadrasana 2. Breathing in. You can work the pose by taking the left thigh back a little more energy into the left toe mound down. So feel that your left leg is alive and breathing. Feel your breath in your left leg. Take the left arm down, right arm up into reverse warrior. Taking a nice deep breath, come all the way back to Virabhadrasana 2. Right arm onto the knee. Take your left hand down in front of you. Sweep it around so that it's coming up and over. That sets your head of the arm bone a little bit better into your socket. Breathing in, then release your right hand to be parallel to the left. Taking a nice deep breath. Open all of that up to Virabhadrasana 2. And breathe. Windmill your hands On either side of your feet, step back into a downward facing dog. Fingerprints down, back of the palm knuckles down, come forward into plank. Don't let your knees go your hips go too high, but you don't want your hips to go too low either. Up. So you can feel the energy from your core to your feet. Good, then release and come back to downward dog with a nice deep breath. You can either bend your knees and hop forward into an Uttanasana, or walk your feet in, walk your hands in, come back to a forward fold. Head down towards the earth, arms sweep all the way up, hands go to prayer over your head, then down to the heart. Good. Coming with the left foot forward, right foot back. No two sides are the same, no 2 days are the same. So for me, this side is a little tighter today. I'm not quite sure why. I'm just going to stretch it a little bit and then straighten the knee using the muscles. Exhale, indulge me, my own body here. Bend at the knees, straighten by pressing into the feet and inhaling all the way up. Exhale and bend. Good, one more time, inhale up. This side just needs a little extra tweaking. Exhale, bend, hold that. Right hip back, arms reach out into Virendrasana 2. Nice deep breath. Look over your left hand, stay steady. It's a warrior 2. You stay steady with the heart, with your mind, the willingness to do this difficult work. Going deep in. Good. Then let your right arm go down, left arm reaches almost as a celebration of your heart. Breathing in. Reverse warrior, then come back to Virendrasana 2. Left elbow onto the knee. Now you're not giving a lot of power to that elbow. You see, I'm bringing it down, but I'm not giving it a lot of power. All my power is here, core to legs. Right thigh back. Left arm sweeps down and then up. So it's in a better position for your arm. You don't want to have any shoulder issues. And then bring your left arm up as well. Nice deep breath. Here, come back to Virendrasana 2. Then we're going to windmill the hands on either side of the feet. Step back into downward facing dog. Come forward into a plank. Maybe wanting to feel like your ankles are hugging in towards one another as we hug the midline. Knees onto the floor. Knees go out, toes together, roll back, extended child, and breathe. Just allow yourself to breathe into your back body. So important. We know our front body really well, and in yoga we have an opportunity to really feel the power of the body in a 360 way. So we really want to feel the back body expand, feel the back of the rib cage, back of your lungs expand with the breath. Good, then inhale and come all the way back up again. Giving yourself these little moments of rest are good. Come all the way onto your belly. We're going to move into Spider Bhujangasana, Spider Cobra, head of the arm bone up toward the ear and back, all 10 toes onto the floor. We're going to lift up and breathe. Keeping a bend in the elbow, moving the head of the arm bone up and back, and your heart is coming forward. Hips are down onto the floor. Toes are connected to the floor. You want to keep stretching your low back. Nice deep breath. Releasing, come all the way down. Keep your hands right where they are. Breathing in. Let your head release down towards the floor. So let your forehead come onto the floor for a moment. Just a release, a little bit of a break. Good. All 10 toes on the floor. Move the head of the arm bone up toward the ear and back. Your head is still on the floor. Keep it there. Let it be the last thing to lift as you Begin to press into your fingers and lift all the way back up. Then add your head as the last thing. Get your upper part of your back to open first, and then get your head to release all the way up. And 7th chakra all the way up to the top, all the way up. And then release and come all the way back down. Pin into a table pose, fingerprints down, back of the palm knuckles down. Right leg goes straight back behind you, toes to the earth, as opposed to what I normally like to do, which is toes to the side. Hip down. Square your hips. Bend at the knees. This could be your pose. If you want to go a little further, you're going to take your left hand and bring it to the shoelace part of your foot. Knee down towards the earth, and you're going to kick your foot into your hand, hand into your foot. Make sure your left head of the arm bone is up and out of the way as we come into quad stretch. Nice deep breath. Release that, come to a full pointer. Good, toes to the earth. And then come all the way back down again. Left leg lifts. Bend at the knee. This could be your pose. Just hold this. Right hand comes around. Look at my right shoulder wants to come down. Move the head of the arm bone up and back. Press foot to hand, hand to foot. And breathe into the stretch with a nice deep breath. Then release that and come all the way back to a full pointer. And then back into the table pose. Curl the toes under. Press back into downward facing dog. You're going to let your right knee go into your chest. You're crossing the right leg over. So now the right thigh is pressing the left thigh back. Just breathing in. Hands are solid, fingerprints down, back of the palm knuckles. Then release that, come all the way back to your downward dog. Left knee into your chest, cross it over. Top of the thigh, presses back, breathing in. Nice deep breath. Then release that, come back to the dog. Come into a table pose and change your hands so that your forearms are onto the floor now. Allow pinky to be in front of pinky, forearm solid onto the floor. Let your knees go back a little more. Lift up into dolphin. Lift your right leg up. Just notice if your belly is going down towards the earth, you want to lift your belly up towards your lower back. And that might mean taking your heel down a little bit. Just notice if that's what's happening in your body. And then release and come all the way back down. And left leg lifts. Again, watching the belly. Breathing in. Nice deep breath. And then release and come all the way back down into the table pose. Roll back into the extended child and breathe. Now here, as we are in extended child, elbows onto the floor, hands come together. Bring your hands over your head. So get a little bit of a stretch through the upper part of your arms. Breathing in, letting your heart go down towards the earth. And just notice what is stretching in your body. What is calling for an opening? Breathing in. Good. Then release and come all the way back. So if you have a block, just take a block. We're just going to take this one step a little further. Taking the block onto the mat. We have 2 blocks on, I don't know, that may be a luxury. 2 blocks. Point is that when we come back into the studio, you're going to have your own props. So, might want to look into that. Elbows onto your block. And you're going to do exactly the same thing. Here's that. Elbows back. Elbows onto the block and hips back. So at first your heart goes down in a way that kind of melts. And then you're going to bring the belly up towards the spine. Press the hips back behind you. Begin to open the under part of your arms. With a nice deep breath. And don't go too far. You're not stretching your ligaments. Just want to tone the under part of the arms. Hands are in prayer and over your head. Press the hips back and breathe. A nice deep breath. And then release and come all the way back. Good. All right. Blocks onto the side. Find yourself back into a standing pose. Right leg forward, left leg back. Good. We're going to press into the four corners of the feet. You're going to rotate your torso so that it's right along the short side of the mat. Breathing in. Good. Arms are going to reach all the way up. I want you to think about extending your both sides of your waistline as you begin a journey down. So what I don't want you to do is collapse on your right side to make this pose work. I want you to stay upright, and I want you to breathe life into both sides of your waist, both sides of the rib cage, and just explore how engaged you can be as you are going down towards the floor. So you may not hit the floor. In fact, come up a little bit. And much rather you feel this opening and the extension from your perineum to the top of your head. Strong legs. You're staying, hugging into the midline, hugging the energy in, rotating, arms out. Inhale, and come all the way back up. Hands onto your hip. Just turn your feet with a nice deep breath. Arms reach out. Good. Both sides of the waistline, just keep stretching. Stretch, stretch, stretch. The opposite hip, the right hip, instead of coming forward, needs to go back. More power to the feet. That helps you extend in. There is a line between the inside of my foot and my center core as I'm coming into Trikonasana on this side. Breathing in. This is all therapeutic. Muscle energy is therapeutic. Good. Now make sure your knee isn't locking. That means feet are really working. And then inhale and come all the way back up. Good. Shake that out. Nice deep breath. All right, let's move into some standing poses. Find Tadasana to begin with. Hands on either side. I want you to close your eyes. So after doing some of that, you may find yourself feeling a little more open right or left. Let's see if you can get both feet connected to the earth. See if you can get your energy in both feet evenly onto the earth. In Tadasana, the mountain pose. Let your hands release. Let your hands and palms open. So you're in a more receptive mode for taking in the mountain pose. Then you're going to shift slightly to the left. Come tippy-toe onto the right. Bring your right ankle up to your knee. And we're going to move into a standing four pose. As your hands go up over your head, hips down, breathing in. And then from here, inhale, come all the way back up and take it to a tree pose. And then release and come all the way down and shake that out. Nice deep breath. Forgot my elastic. I'm hot here. Breathing in, a nice beautiful breeze. Tiptoe on the left side, right foot solid onto the earth. Bring your left heel up to the ankles to the knee, and press. Hips back, arms up, standing pigeon. Nice deep breath. There's a lot to take in here. Finding the midline, and you're going to wiggle and wobble. Find your breath, and then release and come all the way back. Find tree pose. Put the foot somewhere onto the leg, and then release and come all the way back down. Shake that out. Good. Let's come onto the floor. Do a little more with pigeon. Let your hands come behind you. Move the head of the arm bone up toward the ear and back. Doing the same thing, maybe a little easier for you. You're taking your right ankle up behind your knee, and you're pulsing your torso a little forward. So you're getting a little more upright. Breathing in, a nice deep breath. Good. Just find a way to find your expression. It may be that your leg is a little bit lower here, but see if you can open up your hip. See if you can find that opening. Then release that, come into Navasana, holding the back of the leg. Toes are spread. Don't try to do this with limpy feet. Spread your toes, engage your muscles, lift up through the spine. Breathing in, you can release your hands if that's in your practice. If not, just hold on. You can extend your legs if that's in your practice. You can open up, go to wherever you are, and then release. Come back to holding. Get your breath back. Lift all the way up to the spine, and just let your breath move from your torso all the way up to the top of the head. Then bring your feet down onto the floor, hands behind you, head of the arm bone up toward the ear and back, so you have a nice open and bright heart. Let your left leg come up and breathe in a nice deep breath. Breathing in. Good. And then release. Come all the way back. Let both legs go straight out. Inner spiral. You're into Dandasana. You're going to lift all the way up through the top of the head. And you're going to walk your hands down your leg. And I want you to stay so that your head is back and your heart is open. So, what I don't want you to do is round. So I don't have to go too far. I want you to pulse into your edge, and then I want you to pulse back out. Exhale and pulse into your edge. Inhale and come all the way back out. Pulse into your edge, coming forward. You may be able to come forward a little bit more as we do this with the breath. Exhale forward, inhale up, and last time, exhale forward. And inhale up, good. All right, feet come together. In Baddha Konasana, letting your knees just flutter with a nice deep breath. Good. Again, here, I want you to let your knees settle, and they may need to come up a little higher to get the top of your thighs into the floor a little bit. So the top of the thighs press down towards the floor, and then open your knees up. Taking your left elbow into the left knee, just stretch that. Notice where you feel it. Notice where this stretch lands. For me, it lands right in the right part of my lower back. So it's a tight spot for me. So I'm aware that I have to strengthen a little more in that area. Inhale all the way up. So that your body is just talking to you. Exhale Elbow down into the right knee, right elbow. Breathing in. Good. And then inhale all the way back up. Good. So from here, we're going to go into pigeon with a quad stretch. So if you know you need a tie, you may want to do that. We're coming into table with the right knee coming forward, left knee back. I don't want you to just sit onto the floor with your hip. I want you to lift up and work to square the hips with the short side of the mat. So your left knee is into the floor, curl your left toes under, because I need the strength of my left leg to help me rotate the torso. So I press my left heel back, rotate the torso, so that my right hip is going back, my left hip is coming forward. So there is that stretch. Lift your knee up. For me, this is a quad stretch. Just feeling that. Nice deep breath. Then bring the knee back down. Bend at the knee, and this may be where you stay. If not, you're going to take your right hand to your left leg. Shoelace side of the foot. Move the head of the arm bone up toward the ear back. And when you do that, and only after you do that, then press your hand into your foot into your hand, and let it open you up. Keeping your hips forward. Breathing in. So the goal is not to get the hips onto the floor. It's to strengthen this so that you might be able to lift your arm up. Hold this all in place. Nice deep breath. Release, come all the way back down. Hands onto the floor or into dolphin. Come back into downward dog. Walk the dog. One heel up, one heel down. Again, a nice deep breath. And then from here, you're either going to go into table or you're going to bring your left knee up. Oh, did we just do that side? Right knee up. No, left knee up. Ah, I got it. Yes, left knee forward, right leg back. Good Lord. Here I am. It's a new day. And right hip is coming forward, left hip back. And you're going to press into your toes, press your heel back so that your knee is coming off of the floor. So again, this is a quad stretch for me. I'm feeling a little bit in my hip. So I'm going to take my top of the thigh back a little bit more, press back with my heel to get a little bit deeper stretch without stretching the ligaments of my hip. Then bring your knee back down. Bend your right knee, and you may stay right here. Rotate the torso. You can do that even with your knee up, or take your left hand to your top of your right foot. Move the left head of the arm bone up and back. Breathing in. The goal might be to hold this in place. Nice deep breath. Then release and come all the way back down again. Fingerprints down, back of the palm knuckles down, or forearms back into downward facing dog. And breathe. And walk your feet in, walk your hands in. Coming back into Uttanasana, arms swing up. Hands go to pray over your head, then down to the heart. Okay, a few more with a standing pose, hugging and holding the midline. If you have a block for the moment, put the block down by the ankle. I want you to feel your feet onto it. We're open now. We've got a summer practice going on, so we have heat going on, all kinds of openness through our body. Hug into the midline. And I want you to close your eyes for a moment. And imagine from the top of your head, You're moving all the way down with a nice deep breath. Turn your palms so that they are open, hugging the midline. So as you're hugging into the block, let your little toe mounds be active onto the floor. And for me to do that, I've got to make sure my knees are not locked. So just notice that you want strong, connected roots into the earth. You want legs that are strong and connected. You want to be in this midline. Good. And then release and open up your eyes. Take the block out. We're still going to feel the block between our legs as you tiptoe onto the right side. Bring your right knee into your chest. Spread your toes so that they're active. And hold on to the back of your thigh and stretch your legs straight. A nice deep breath. You can hold that leg in place. Both arms out. Go to the side. Woo! I'm losing it. Come back to center. And release and come all the way down and shake it out. It's a practice, right? Sometimes I fall out of it too. Nice deep breath. Just the ability and the attempt to hold the midline will bring that practice in. So, left leg lifts. Spread your toes. Hold on to the back. You can stay here. Both arms out. Stretch your leg. Leg out to the side. Woo! Bring it all the way back. Hugging in that midline. Woo! Then release and come all the way back and shake it out. It's a practice. Good. Nice deep breath. Coming all the way onto the floor. Fingerprints down, back of the palm, knuckles down, coming into dancing dog. Sorry, Maria, a lot of this is with downward dog. Coming into downward dog, right leg lifts. Stack your hips, one on top of the other. Bend your knee like it's hugging a tree. Notice if your left shoulder is collapsing into the earth. Left shoulder lifts to the sky, belly up towards the lower back, and breathe. And then release back to a three-legged dog, and then come all the way back down again. Left leg lifts, three-legged dog. Get ready, belly up towards the spine, bend at the knee, stack the hips, one on top of the other. Right shoulder wants to collapse, bring it up. Strong fingerprints, back of the palm, knuckles down. Nice deep breath. Come back to a three-legged dog, squaring your hips, and then release and come all the way back. Good. And onto the floor. So, okay. Coming into a kneeling pose. We're going to move into Virasana, the hero's pose. Now, some of you can do this without a block. Many people use a block. Virasana, you can use a block or two, or a blanket. We're going to let the calf muscles just stretch the calf muscles back so that you can sit between your legs with your knees coming in together. Taking a nice deep, I'm going to assume that everybody is on a block and they're attempting not to go to the floor. From here, we're going to move the head of the arm bone up toward the ear and back. And again, if you are taking this class and you do want to go to the floor, it's still head of the arm bone up and back, but you're going to find your way down towards the floor. For those that are on the block, we're going to lift the hips up off of the block and then bring your hips back down to the block. And then inhale, hips up, and then release and come back. Just notice if your knees are going way out to the side, bring your knees in. Engage your belly towards your lower back, head of the arm bone, up toward the ear and back. Lift up off of the block. And then release and come all the way back down. One more time. Inhale up. Virasana. And exhale down. Good. Then walk your hands. Come back onto the block. Let your hands go onto your thighs. Move the head of the arm bone up toward the ear and back and breathe. With a nice deep breath. It's about feeling your heart. Virasana is a tough pose. Front body opening always creates a little bit of tension, so you just want to bring your breath to that space. It's good to open the front body. We do nothing in our society to open our front body. Good, then release and come all the way back. Right leg is going to come forward, left leg back into low Anjaneyasana. This should feel very even now. Exhale forward and inhale up. Good, exhale forward. Should both feel easy, and we should feel your breath moving through the body. Exhale forward. Remembering to protect your hip so that you're not overstretching your ligament in your hip. And they're taking the top of the thigh back. Good. Keep the top of the thigh back as you exhale forward. I'm going to exhale one more time forward. Left hand is onto the floor. So we're going to do a couple of things here, and you're going to stop where you feel it's good for you. We're rotating the torso. I like to keep my hand on my right thigh, so I'm stabilizing it. So I'm working a little more with my feet, and then I can take my belly in, rotate. Stay here, or bend the knee. Show it this way, bend the knee. Take your hand to the outside, the shoelace part of the foot, what we've been doing. Move the head of the arm bone up toward the ear and back, and open it up. For those that want to go a little further, you're going to take your elbow onto the floor and rotate. Whatever feels right to you, there are many levels. Listen to your body. Listen to what you need today. All designed to open you, transform you in a way that brings you more openness and peace and strength in the world, everything we need. Then release that. Release your foot if you have that. Come back to center. Come all the way back to the low Anjaneyasana. Curl your toes under and press up into a high lunge. Nice deep breath. Add the arms all the way up. Good. Then bring your hands onto the floor. Step your right up to meet the left. Head down towards the floor. Arms swing all the way up. Hands go to prayer over your head. Down to your heart. Good. And the other side. Come on to the floor. This time it is the left leg coming forward and the right leg back. Low Anjaneyasana. Exhale forward with your breath. And inhale up. So you have to be patient. Breathing in, we're hugging the midline. Your legs are scissoring in together. Your back toes are holding the line. Exhale forward. And inhale up. Exhale forward. Inhale up. Exhale forward. Inhale up. Last time, exhale forward. Now this side you may be different. Just listen to your body. Right hand down. We're going to start with the twist. Left hand onto the left knee. And that helps stabilize the leg, helps me engage with my belly. Rotate the torso, and this is maybe where you stay. Bend at the knee. Left hand holds on to the right foot. Head of the arm bone up and back. Press foot to hand, hand to foot. You want to go a little further? Bring your elbow onto the floor. And breathe. Then release. Come all the way back up. Curl your right toes under, and we're going to find ourselves up into High Anjaneyasana. Runner stretch, top of the thighs back, arms reach all the way up. And breathe. See if you can bend into the left knee a little more. Take the top of the right thigh back. It's a big stretch. Summertime, summer poses can really open them up. Release, bring your hands onto the floor. Right foot is coming up to the left. Head down towards the floor. Arms swing out to the side as we inhale all the way up. Hands go to pray over your head. Down to the heart. Breathing in. Hold. Close your eyes. And breathe. And then release and shake it out. Come all the way onto the floor. Your right leg is coming forward. Your left leg is coming in. You're going to be in between your two legs. You're going to lift up through the spine. Let your sits bones be on the floor. And for me, I need to inner rotate a little bit to get the sits bones onto the floor. You're just going to exhale forward to where you can keep a flat back. It's not, keep your head up. Keep your gaze up. Keep your heart up. Let your heart be the lead. So you're grabbing forward. You're not doing this. We're not bowing. We're lifting up. We're opening our hearts to the world. Coming forward. Inhale up. And exhale forward. And inhale up. Exhale forward. And inhale up. Release. Come all the way back to center. Let the right leg go out this time. No two sides are the same. You're going to lift all the way back up again. Letting your heart be open. Exhale forward. And inhale up. Exhale forward. And inhale up. Just send gentle breath moving all the way through. Inhale up. Just notice in your body what might be opening and bring your breath to that spot. Keep your left hip down. Inhale up. And last time, exhale forward. And inhale up. Come all the way back to Dandasana, the staff pose. Inner spiral again, so we keep the low back happy. Stretch your toes. Let your toes be engaged. So don't let your legs and your toes and your feet be limp. Hug them in. Hug into the midline like we're holding the block in place. Then let your hands go. Come and stay in a flat back. I want you to feel the power of getting your torso over your hips, getting the top of the thighs to press down towards the floor first. Find your extension. From there, as you've got all of this in place, then round. Let your head go down towards the earth. Head down towards your knees. If you want a little bit more of a stretch and you've got your toes, press your toes into your hands, head down towards the earth. Make it a little bit more of a low back stretch. You can do the same by having your hands on your ankles even. So a little bit more powerful if you have your toes, because you can press your toes into your hands, hands into your toes, breathing in and allowing for the breath to come in. Just breathe in a few more times. Nice deep breath. And then release that. I am going to be giving you a 5-minute Shavasana. So come all the way onto your floor. Stay with me. Shavasana is the most important part of the whole yoga practice. Don't miss that. So lay all the way onto the floor, and I want you to feel your back up against the floor, against the earth. I want you to breathe into your back body. Back body is all about the universal. If your windows are open, maybe you're hearing the sound of birds singing. Be feeling the warmth of the summer wind across your body. Feeling the way the earth accepts your energy and supports who you are. To know the language of the wind, you must yearn for this conversation. Do whatever is necessary to learn the code. It is hidden in our DNA, unlocked by silence and a willingness to feel a range of power that might set you on the path of a tornado. Allow small movements to come back into your fingers and come back into your toes. Let your knees float up into your chest and hug them in, gently rocking from side to side. And then roll to one side as you pause for a moment and breathe into your own inner landscape. And then continue that side roll all the way up to a seated pose. Then bring your hands to prayer position at your heart center. And together we'll do one Om. So take a breath in. May we have peace in our heart and peace in our mind and true and everlasting peace and healing on this planet. Namaste. Thank you. You can unmute yourself.
Thank you, Rose.
Oh, thank you so much.